Okay. So, Manish, we
All
are
right.
live now. Um, Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Amit. Welcome back to our first of its own kind sales webinar. So, guys, if you can hear me, if you can just write it on your comment section that you can see me, you can hear me, that would be great. I can just check whether I'm live on LinkedIn or not. So, let me just check that part. That whether I am live on LinkedIn or not. Okay.
I was watching the TikTok series from Aditya yesterday,
Yes. Yes. How do you
and
find those flat series?
it's fairly addictive actually. And I really
Mm.
like, I know I've seen some experiments like these before,
Okay.
and it's pretty. It's like you can literally in 30 seconds get to know about different people and their backgrounds and what they did, and average compensation. So they are good insights, right? Like for somebody who's spending,
And
uh,
we are
yeah,
even Manish, we are planning to come up with a series where we'll be asking people that uh, some of the best questions they have got in interviews, or some of the
mhm.
crazy questions which they have got in funny on a funnier side, or so that even that can help employer to improve their process. Because
Right.
to add on to that series, that how we can make it a little more addictive or a little more engaging for people, so that it might help a lot of people. And I'm seeing a good response on it, and I hope that that people will enjoy that. We'll seeing that response. So
Yeah.
okay,
I
so
like.
guys, if you can, yeah. So before we start today's session, uh, so and we'll guys, we are not going to make it very uh, info like formal one. We have not come up with any presentation or anything. We have just come here to talk to Manish, and the idea here is that Manish has a very vast experience into sales domain, and he'll be talking about all his experience and how to land up into a job and everything, right? So that's the whole idea for this. But before that, we'll also be talking about little brief about HiCounselor, because so many people who are new to this particular platform, or they are first time here. Even we are came so a lot of people are new to this, so that's the reason why we are the plan here is that to engage people on this platform. Okay. So before we start on talking about the sales profile, I'll give you a brief introduction about HiCounselor, so that you get an idea that what exactly we do and how we do it. So let me just share my screen so that you get an idea. Okay. I'm sharing my screen, Manish. When you see my screen, just let me know.
Sure.
Okay. Are you able to see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll not be taking too much time because the stage is all for Manish. So I'll just be taking a little brief about HiCounselor, what we do and how we do it, so that you get an idea about this. So let's talk about. So today's we are going to. It's more like a master class, with more like a sharing of experience, where me and Manish will be talking about lot about sales role. So before that, I want to talk about Aditya, because Aditya is not here, but he's the and co-founder of this company, HiCounselor. He does his bachelor's from NIT, and he did his master's of engineering. He worked as a Salesforce consultant in PwC, and later he came to know about this problem that people do face a lot of problem in landing up a job, and then we started HiCounselor in 2020. Manish will be talking about himself very soon, so I don't want to introduce him. I will just only be talking about HiCounselor. So HiCounselor is a 360-degree ecosystem. So we try to help candidate left, right, and center. So we help them in building their resumes. We help them in providing in and fine tune their LinkedIn's. We also provide a lot of resources to candidates in terms of upskilling courses, in terms of interview questions, in terms of hands-on projects, so that people can prepare well for this for jobs. And we have almost everything available on a platform. So let's say if we're looking for a role of data analyst, we have courses on Python, we have courses on SQL, we have courses on SW. So in the similar way, we have everything on our platform so that anybody can come and learn from it. Apart from this, we also have a lot of tools which we have developed, like email networking tool. We have a job automation tool which automatically matches and apply jobs for you. So like if you are doing, let's say, 8 to 10 jobs in a day, the automatic tool can do it maybe 50 jobs for you in every day, that too accurately. So that will automatically increase your chance for landing into a job. And we also provide you direct referral to the employer, so that anybody who is looking for a job can land up into a job, or he might get interview from that. So this is mainly about HiCounselor. uh, if we talk about that, what are the main things which we have seen people struggling about, is the lack of hands-on experience and inability to land up interviews. So that's where we help people. If I talk about our how do we begin and what is what we are headquartered at Silicon Valley. To be very specific, we are in Sunnyvale in Plug and Play Center. The success rate has been around 96%. We have already helped candidate in landing jobs to more than 120 employers. The average salary is around $90,000 and the average time is around 11 weeks. But this may vary depending upon the experience of the candidate. Okay, so currently we are working in 5 domains. The first is Salesforce. The first is software design, where we help people in full stack, back end, front end. We help people in data science, where data analyst or data scientist, data engineer, business analyst. We help in product track, product manager, associate product manager. And then we're also working in Salesforce. And recently we are started sales domain. So if you're looking for any role related to sales, like sales analyst, sales associate, BDM roles, so this might be one of those platform or seminar where you should definitely listen to it. And how you can apply to our cohort, it's a very simple process. You can just go to hicounselor.com. So once you will go to hicounselor.com, and you will click on this apply to upcoming cohort. Once you click on apply to upcoming cohort, you will say it will show you the date, and it will also show you start applications. So you can just fill the small form, and once you have chosen your track, you have completed your track, we'll be able to give you our final decision. This is a very simple process. So that's it from our side. Hello, the stage is all yours, Manish. So Manish, if you can just start with a brief introduction about yourself and your experience, that would be great point to start with. Yeah, can you hear me, Manish? You're on mute, Manish.
Sorry, I was on mute. So, can
Yeah,
you hear me okay?
yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. So, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, depending on which part of the world you are, folks. This is Manish Prasad. I started my career way back in 2006 as a Python engineer and a program manager working for TCS. Uh, and I worked there for 2 years, and then I did my MBA from MDI Gurgaon in the batch of 2008 2010. After that, I joined a Mahindra Group company called Bristlecone. It was one of the transformative experience for me because I actually managed a lot of functions and got immense exposure out there. So I started as FP&A consultant, then went into sales operations, managed M&A strategy, and towards the last leg of my career, I was also a client partner myself, managing a bunch of large technology clients for the company. After Bristlecone, I joined a Goldman Sachs company called Epixon, wherein I led M&A integration for about 2 years. And we were 1,000 employee when I joined. When I left, we were about 6,000 in a matter of 18 months. So the company went through a series of some very transformative acquisitions. And I left my job in 2022, late 2022, and I'm now an entrepreneur. I am developing a sales copilot using a generative AI platform. We are still in early stages, but this is going to help salespeople develop strategy to reach out to clients much effectively in the area of B2B sales. Uh, we'll be launching pretty soon to all our clients in North America, and HiCounselor reached out to me in terms of the phenomenal sales program that they're building, and I thought this is a good experience even for me to interact with them and a couple of nice, bright young folks like you to understand and explain and share my learnings about what are the key challenges, what are the new trends, what are the new technologies that are emerging in the sales space. And it is, when I say sales, it is not just sales, but it is commercial, the entire commercial organization around it. As you know, there is customer success, there is sales operations, there is marketing. It's a combination of multiple organization around sales. So I'll be referring to all of that in the conundrum of sales. Uh, so let's get started, Vivek. Amit.
Uh, Thanks, Manish. Thanks, Manish. My so first thing I would like to know, since earlier you started your career as an engineer, right? And then today you have transitioned yourself more into the role of an entrepreneur, and you know that the sales has been one of the integral part of every company, even whether there is a software company or it's a marketing company or an FMCG company. So, how do you see your career transition, and how much this is feasible for other people also? To transition there, because a lot of people get blocked into one zone, that we are software engineer and we can only be software engineers. But I have seen a lot of successful people, because they know the tech, they know the idea, and now they are selling it also. So if you can talk about that transition.
Sure. And before that, I'll also break this myth because Hollywood has misled us so far, I would say. Because all the movies we see a type A salesperson,
Yeah.
somebody wearing expensive suits and riding expensive cars like a Ferrari or Lamborghini, and is able to charm their way out, talk smooth, is usually flamboyant. That's not sales, right? That is just an image that is good to sell movies. But in real life, you will see many successful salespeople who are the exact opposite. What I mean by
Okay.
that? So imagine you're selling to a client, and what are you trying to do? You're trying to solve a problem. Can
Yes.
you solve their problem? Can you understand what their problem is? Can you spend time on their problem versus your solution? Do
Hmm.
you have, are you the guy with a hammer in hand looking for the nail? Or you're trying to spend time with them, you're trying to build a relationship with them, you're trying to be a trusted advisor, and You're listening to their side of the story. You're listening to the visual cues. You're listening to not just what is being said, but you're also listening to things that your clients are not telling you. And
Yeah.
I think we have all been so far in life that we understand that good relationships are built on the back of uh, honesty, consistency, right? Being there when they need you,
being
right?
being there.
And of course there is an element of strategy. There is an element of tactical mapping out, those kind of things, right? But at the core of it, it is: can you solve my problem? Do I trust
Mm.
you? Right? Do you really care about me? And that,
Yes.
as a successful salesperson, anybody has to demonstrate whether they wear, uh, expensive suits or they fly private jets, right? In fact, those things actually go opposite. Uh,
At
there is a
times, yes.
natural there is a natural preference for people to trust uh, salespeople who are more knowledgeable, who have
Hmm.
some content, right? And buyers these days are very advanced. they're very educated, right?
Educated. Yes.
And
Yes.
they would probably know about what kind of solutions exist. So you literally can't say, ours is the best solution.
Hmm.
So I think it's a much advanced field today than it used to be a couple of decades before.
Hmm.
You have to educate your buyer. You have to act as somebody acting on their behalf, right? You have to be able to challenge your clients. So it's
Hmm.
not a yes man job. You have to be able to challenge their clients on various assumptions they're making, right? Literally challenge them as to, if you don't take uh, this transformative solution today, here is how it's going to hurt you in future.
Yes.
Because there is a natural inclination and a natural bias to basically maintain the status quo. So, and that's
Yes.
what most of your clients will be doing. So, a successful salesperson will operate from the challenger mindset. They will be able to, in a very polite, respectful manner, challenge the clients, right, with data, with hard numbers.
So
Uh,
if I summarize your the last conversation, I can say three traits which I can learn as if I'm not from the sales background is listening skills, obviously, and second is being there. You are there to solve a problem, and rather than showing off things, uh, work with a challenger mindset. If I'm right, if I've taken the
yep,
collected the right
exactly.
point,
Exactly.
collected.
And I think I'll also highlight few other things, Amit, about
Mhm.
a good and successful salesperson is actually cautious and pessimistic as opposed to being optimistic. This is,
Okay.
many people will assume a salesperson is usually optimistic and will always say future is bright, whereas a good salesperson would know where are the areas their deal would fall, which clients would, not buy at the last minute. So they
Hmm.
are they are actually learning through this years of experience that, just because you have the meeting, just because somebody is listening to you, it takes time to close a deal, right? And they would have built that into their models, into their processing when they say, here is the business I'm going to bring in this quarter.
Hmm.
So at the core of it, if you look at a sales role, according to me, there are certain foundational skills, and
Okay.
then you layer it with some abstract skills. Now these abstract skills is basically the ability to listen, the ability to prove yourself to your client that you are a trusted advisor, you can build relationship, you can actually convince them, you can solve a problem, so you are empathetic to their pain areas. But at the foundation of it, you need to have strong product knowledge. You need to know your product in and out, or your service or your solution in and out. You need to be also be very, keep pace with what's happening in the industry. What are the trends? What are the key business problems? And relate to it by talking to many people, by relating, by developing your own point of view. And that is, I think, that's where I was leading to your initial question of
Hmm.
people coming from different backgrounds trying to launch themselves into sales should look
Yes.
for that one transferable skill, right?
Okay.
that
That's
could
that's
be
very good.
that could be
Very good.
their expertise in the product, that could be their general reading
And I
about
feel
different
that Manish, if
industries.
you can
Yeah.
enlighten me on this one, that I've seen that a lot of people take sales as a very generic profile. They believe that if we are not able to do anything technical, we'll be able to sell something. This is my first part. The second part, I have also seen people who have good communication skills. They believe that they are good salespeople. So if you can just answer me on these two parts, like how much communication, like I believe obviously communication helps, but a lot of people have seen that lesser product knowledge and only talking about their communication skills and trying to like roam, like go round and round around the customer, and at the end they believe that they are good salespeople. I believe that if you can just talk about that part, uh, that people are taking this role because they are not want to do anything technical, and they believe sales is not technical. They believe sales
Yeah.
is a very
I
generic
think
profile.
I think when you say communication, I believe intuitively you're referring to smooth talkers, right?
Smooth
Because
talkers, yes. Talking about smooth
so
talkers,
smooth
yes.
talkers will who think they can talk their way out of any situation.
Hmm.
Uh, is just one small aspect of the entire sales profession. Maybe I would say 20, 15, 20%, right? What is important is, okay, you are a smooth talker, but can you align teams behind you? Can you align
Hmm.
the timelines? Can you align priorities of your client? Can you align stakeholders? Right? Can you can you look at uh, what are the different areas where your product can fit from a solution standpoint? I mean, we've all seen movies where and crime thrillers where they will have a board and they will put pictures and they'll say, "Here is the hierarchy," and draw threads. So, in a
Yes.
complex sale environment, by the way, that's exactly what you have to do. Can you
Oh.
draw a board? Can you put pictures of people who you need to reach out and build relationship with? Who in your company will build that relationship? Can you navigate that complex landscape? Now, these are not just one skill. The sales, as I said, is a combination of multiple small skills, and the foundation of it is to deep technical knowledge, deep business expertise. So you have to pick up that one or two expert, like literally building any other skill. You have to
Hmm.
bring one thing to the table, and then you say, "I'm going to learn, few of these other skills, and then create a meta skill called as sales." And that's how you develop this. That's how you launch yourself into the space.
So let's say if somebody just starting his career, because a lot of people as a fresher comes into the sales domain. So what should be their initial focus? A lot of people, they like, back in our home country, we have also seen door to door selling, right? But that is not relevant or very much common in North America, right? But I wanted to know that as a fresher, how somebody can kickstart his career into sales role, and how much it is rewarding also, because at the end of the day, people also like how much money I'm going to make out of it. So how they can kickstart and how much it is rewarding.
Sure. So I think you have to first start from, why do you need to be a salesperson? That's an honest question you have to ask, right? Not everybody enjoys being a salesperson, because you will start your day with rejection, you'll end your day with rejection, and in between there will be thousands of rejection. So, can you handle that amount of rejection? Can you really handle the quarterly pressure which comes with ability to deliver deals? And despite all the good things, I have rarely seen deals closing in the middle of the quarter. There are few deals which close in the middle of the quarter. Most of the deal close at the end of the quarter.
End of the quarter.
And those
Yes.
2 weeks are very stressful for any
Yes.
salesperson,
Yes.
right? Can you handle that stress? Can you, learn to deal with ambiguities? Because imagine you're a salesperson, you didn't design the product, you can't
Hmm.
make significant changes to the product or solution. Uh, the, no matter what we say, the client would still perceive as the Hollywood avatar, that image that I just painted, as a con man. So you have to actually work your way to prove and build your trust. And in the whole scheme of things, you have to manage so many ambiguities. Your team sometimes will not pay attention to you or trust you. Can you handle that, right? Can you live in uncertain times?
Hmm.
The reward is fulfillment, because you get a high when you close a deal. There is no
Yes.
better feeling. A salesperson will describe it, right? Of course, there follows the commission, there follows the incentive model that you can make money. And good salespeople, by the way, in a high performing sales organization, makes more money than the CEO, right?
Hmm.
So I've seen salespeople making north of millions of dollars in United States. Uh, but there is an entry. There is a natural evolution. You have to learn the trait of the profession. You have to. Uh, it's like any other profession. You have to fail more to learn and develop your own process and be consistent with it. Right. So when
So
you
Manish,
start your uh,
how does the hierarchy goes here? Like for example, we generally see junior developer, or like, yeah,
right,
you were
right.
saying something. Yes.
Right, exactly. I was coming to that. So when you
Okay.
start your role as a sales professional or straight out of college, you will land as usually a SDR or a junior
Okay.
account executive, right? Which is sales development representative or an account executive. Now, an SDR usually supposed to generate the funnel for a senior account executive,
All
and
right.
they will do this via different channels and formats, right? These could be cold calling, this could be sending emails, this could be driving webinars and generating leads from there, right? So, a role of us experienced or a seasoned salesperson is to convert demand to dollars, which means somebody generates a demand, somebody generates a funnel, and a good salesperson comes in and convert that demand to deals,
Okay.
which gives dollars and revenue to the company. So when you start as an SDR or a junior account executive, and that compensation varies across the United States. Different regions have different, you'll see average salaries, but I've seen usually a SDR start in the worst case scenario with about 65 to 70K base, and then usually double or maybe 50% to 100% of their base compensation once they achieve the targets. Different companies have different incentive models. In expensive cities like San Jose and New York, right? You will see sometimes an SDR also start at like literally 85 to 90K as base salary, and then we'll have about 25-30% associated towards the bonus, right? And then an SDR migrates towards an account executive. That usually takes 2 to 3 years, right? Some of the SDRs are really sharp and they can do it in 6 months to a year, but an average is about 2 to 3 years. And within that 2 to 3 years, what the SDR would have demonstrated is they're able to, A, they have a good understanding of the sales process of the company. B, they have demonstrated their ability to literally go out and pick up smaller deals and close them by themselves, right? They don't need a salesperson to do that. They've actually helped a salesperson close a key large deal and gone above and beyond, right? And maybe a couple of those deals. So once you become an account executive, usually, I'm talking about more software and tech services because that's an industry I understand. Different industries and different segments will have their own natural normals toward compensation. Right. So
Okay.
basically, once you become an account executive, then anywhere between expensive cities again, like San Jose, New York, you'll see uh, it go base salaries going all the way from 100K to about 180K, right? And usually, high performing sales organization give you the opportunity to double your base on target, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
the overall compensation will be anywhere between 250K to 350K or 400K.
Highly,
But then
highly
there is an
rewarding.
upside. There is an upside.
Highly-
And the
Okay.
upside is if you literally crushed your quotas, then you get accelerators. So, which means if you're getting $1 for closing a deal when you're below 100%, that dollar can become dollar 550 or $2 once you
Okay.
literally crush your quotas and go beyond. And that's where successful sales guys would end up making sometimes $500,000 to $1 million in certain
So I
companies.
believe that anybody who's looking in this career is a rewarding career. It's highly rewarding. If you have the necessary skills, I believe that's a highly rewarding career. Uh, Another thing which I wanted to ask you, Manish, that what are the key challenges you see when like you are also coming up with your own product, and definitely you would have been pitching it to a lot of other people, or maybe once it. So like, what exactly challenge do you see in the industry, uh, in B2B market, or even at times in B2C market as a salesperson? What exactly is the challenge? Is it-
So let's take B2B and let's take because within B2B sales there are multiple segments. There is product-led growth. There is selling. You are selling to small and medium businesses, or you could be selling to mid-sized businesses, or you could be selling to enterprises. Now, within these segments, there are different challenges, right? And literally, the distinction is how what's your deal size. If your deal size are less than $10,000, then you might as well not deploy a salesperson. You will have a product-led growth motion. If your deal sizes are north of $100,000, now you're looking at not just a salesperson, but an army of team who will support the salesperson. So the challenges can vary from finding literally the qualified leads. The biggest challenge for almost all sales guys is many sales guys don't prospect as much as it is they're supposed to prospect. They don't prospect, and the leads that are being fed to them is usually not qualified enough. Right? Sometimes it's all people who are just came to the website and shown some interest, and they're all qualified as leads, and now they are supposed to act on those leads. So because the top of the funnel is weak, the conversion and therefore the ability to get meet their quarterly numbers become bleaker, right? So that is one. Second is objection handling. Clients don't usually like your solution. So how do you convert that objection handling or objection to somebody who comes in, and literally start listening to you and start lowering their guards and is interested in your solution. Then navigating complex landscape. So I mentioned about the ability, those boards where you can stick pictures and you can draw connections. So a large deal will have all those complications because let's say if you're selling to PepsiCo, right? Uh,
Okay.
it's a complex sale. You're not selling to one person. You're selling to many people. So you
Many
need to
people.
understand the stakeholder and those kind of things. So it's a complex sales cycle that you need to navigate. You need to maintain customer relationship. It's not a challenge, but that's a part of the trade. You need to be closer to your customer, keep pinging them, keep talking to them. And I think most important thing I would say is ability to a good salesperson in my mind has a very simple scientific process where they can do A/B testing and they can say, here is my playbook, here is what works for me. And if I find some new information, then I can make changes to my playbook. But I'll keep experimenting and develop my own process. So good salespeople usually will have their own sales process. That process may or may not align with the organization,
Mhm.
right? And that's where you'll see a lot of conflicts between people who are leading sales operations and revenue operations, and they'll keep convincing for their life that this process works to the good sales guys. They will not listen to them.
Okay. Uh, so coming to the next question, which I wanted to know, and from your experience, if you can give me an idea on it, that and that is one of the most like people wanted to know that how the this interview process. Let's say somebody is getting into wanted to get into a sales profile. So how what kind of rounds do we see apart from just selling pencils or sell the pen to me? This kind of generally people believe that this is the only question which we are going to get in sales, and rather than just charming words, like what exactly is the process of hiring someone as a sales manager, let's say somebody who's a junior to mid level hiring process.
So I think it's important for anybody who's applying for these sales roles to first understand what does sales mean for that organization.
Okay.
What I mean by that is if you're applying to a company which is selling mid market, which is selling to enterprise, which is selling to small and medium businesses, or doing product led growth. So segment these sales go to market motion in your mind, be very clear. And you can do that research by going to their company webpage, looking at sometimes you look at the pricing if if you're trying to find a job in a software play, right? A company. You can look at the pricing and you can literally come up with a deal size and say, okay, this company is more dealing with, and you will see a lot of these information available in various public forums like G2 or Capterra, and find insights about the company, about their competition, uh, but understand their go-to-market motion. And these are usually fairly standard, right? Like, are you selling to mid? If you're selling to mid market, there are only two, three go-to-market motions you will do. Selling to enterprise, there are three, four go-to-market motion. So understand what role you're applying for, right? And within that context, now imagine as if you are selected. And if
Okay.
you're selected, what will your first 90 days look like? Right now, keep
Okay.
imagining that, and you'll say, I get selected. Here is going to be my first assignment. I'm going to probably look at, self-select yourself. I'm going to look at uh, the website of the company, and I'm going to critically analyze this company versus couple of other companies in the competition. I'm going to critically analyze their pricing. I'm going to or I could say, this company sells to a set of clients, which I can get from their website. Can I look at equivalent clients, same space, right? I can do my research. If they're public, very good. I will read through their 10Ks and annual reports, and I'll say,
Hmm.
here are the challenges these clients are talking about, right? And I
Okay.
will, during my interview process, I will tell the interviewer, my, you know, especially the line manager from sales, that here are the other set of companies you might have missed, or you're already talking to them, but they're talking about these challenges. Now imagine when you do that, it's hard to say no to that candidate because they've shown initiative, they've shown research, right?
Hmm.
So I think it's important to understand the go-to-market motion, and there are a lot of material out there these days. Sales, as such, is becoming very crowded when it comes to content. So you'll find some good content out there. You'll see,
So if
what
you
kind
can,
of go-to-market
Manish,
motion
here
exists,
only if you can share some resources, some platforms, some good books. If you have in your
right?
mind
Right.
certain platforms, that would be great.
Sure. So I think I would say, like any learning process, you start with going with reading or consuming content, which is literally uh, the masters in the space, right? So I would say anybody who's thinking of building a career in sales should definitely read Influence by Robert Cialdini, because that gives you great insight about persuasion, right? Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. It's like now it's so much well marketed that I'm sure many people would know about it. It's a great book on negotiation, right? Then
Mhm.
To Sell is Human by Daniel Pink, where Daniel Pink actually explores the art and science aspect of selling in a very engaging way, right? And I would say the fourth one is The Challenger Sale, which I really enjoyed. It's a very well-researched book around approach to selling,
Okay.
taking control of a sale process. So these are the couple of books I would say. There are really good podcasts out there if you're not interested in reading books.
Okay.
There are good movies, right? Unfortunately, you'll not see a lot of you'll keep seeing the type A kind of movies which I mentioned when you look at sales. But there are good podcasts and there are good TV series. Like I really enjoyed Suits. I really enjoyed a TV show called Billions, and a
Okay.
couple of others, right, which gives you a good insight, not just about sales, but the whole process of what goes into.
Okay. Okay, so I believe that all the people who are listening out there, Manish has already shared a lot of resources along with the books, along with podcast, web series. So it's like a holistic process rather than only looking at from one dimension that we need to read books. We need to, sales is all about developing your personality to that profile. So, and like since you are also working in this AI space now, and technology has become like an integral part. When ChatGPT came, a lot of people uh, got afraid that their job is going to wipe out from the market, and that's the reason why I wanted to know that how much is this chat gpt or any AI based model is going to affect the sales role. Is this job will still be relevant for the next few years, or next maybe next 30 years, 40 years, or it is going to be take a hard hit from these kind of technology?
Well, I think it's a anybody's guess is as good as mine, but I'll not dole out prophecies, but I would say let's think it from the perspective of which job have the least amount of likelihood of being eliminated by AI. And I think any role or any job which is high context, where it
Hmm.
requires understanding the problem of the person, right? Where it requires literally, uh, you know, with millions of dollars are at play, right? Because if you screw up on a transformation, all right, people might lose jobs. So will you outsource it to AI? So anything that has got high context will have much lesser likelihood of being disrupted by AI. That anything that is more repeatable can be automated, right? So I think sales, especially the enterprise sales, falls into that landscape.
Okay.
There could be some element of SDRs, there could be some element of the sales role which is into research. So the drudgery of sales role will definitely get outsourced to AI. The amount of research you could have done by yourself is now, you now have a co-pilot which can help you
Okay.
do that. So the role will become much more fun, because any salesperson you would see will spend about 25-30% of the time doing manual writing emails, or updating CRM, or doing some manual research. Now those parts can be automated, so that makes the job much more fun. And if you're selling in a high context environment, then you actually will have a much better experience. uh, and sales guys are usually at the forefront of technology. They're usually the first adopter of any good tool and technology. So in
Yes.
that sense, I think sales is less likely to be disrupted than other jobs, I would say. But having said that, if you're using same sales playbook, if you're just doing a repeatable job, then you may get disrupted. Versus if you bring a lot of creativity, imagination, and wisdom uh, to the profession, then you become unique in your own ways.
So, if I'll summarize that, that means AI can facilitate the role or make it more fun for salespeople and a lot of reduce their manual jobs, I believe.
Right.
But at the
Right.
end of the day, it's the process of a human interaction, so that will stay in place, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. That's great. So, guys, nothing to worry about, I believe, and I hope so. Finger crossed. I don't know that AI can go to what level, but still, till the time, whatever is happening in the industry based on this could be one of the like this. And I wanted to know one thing also, that as how do you see the job search process, like if somebody is looking for job, what are the various platforms they should look out for, or how they should network with people? If you can just help people in that part, because that has been one of the most painful point for people, that I am a fresher, I write a lot of LinkedIn message to people but nobody responds. So like how to reach out to people, how to write any, like what could be the process to like connect with people?
Come bearing gifts. If you connect to somebody who is a salesperson,
Mm-hmm.
and you reach out to them not asking for help, but
Mm-hmm.
telling that I can help you, because I think today technology has leveled the playing field so
Playing field,
evenly
yeah. So
that
evenly.
any candidate who's looking for a sales job can actually do a lot of research. You have access to a lot of AI tools, right? You can go and look at the annual reports of the potential clients. You reach out to sales managers and the CROs of the organization. Don't reach out to HR. I mean, I know that a lot of people who are my friends from HR may not like it, but end of the day, if you're literally trying to short circuit the process, reach out to the CROs and head of sales, and you say, here are the three companies who may be interested in your solution, because I just listened to what they were saying in the public domain. Now,
Wow.
at the minimum, you will get the response, or you will get a meeting with them. Now it's on you to prove your potential and your capabilities, right? So I think because of the availability and democratization of these uh, AI tools, you can
Mm-hmm.
actually you have a natural advantage because you have time on your side, at least few
Mm-hmm.
hours. And I think if you can't spend 60 minutes doing the research, then I'll just stop that and focus on something else. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you can do that, and you can add value to somebody, then they will
Mm-hmm.
definitely connect with you. Having said that, I would say be careful, because while you do that, you have to also make sure that you have a strong qualification, that somebody is engaging with you to offer you a job, or somebody is engaging with you to do free consulting, right? Uh, but I think you have to have that belief that there are good people out there. They will help you out if you show initiative. In fact, I have, whenever I've hired, the problem was never that uh, there are not enough jobs. There are jobs. There are
Hmm.
many jobs, right? It's just that people don't show a lot of initiative. So
Okay.
can you show initiative? Can you do the research? Can you give something before asking for help, right? Definitely,
And
you'll find good candidates, good managers who will be interested in talking to you.
that email idea was a really great idea, Manish, and I believe that that can help a lot of people. And I believe that one of the problem, even which high counselor faces when I am hiring, I'll give you certain examples to this, and this will help other people also. That let's say I have advertised one post through LinkedIn, and then a lot of people start sending their application, whether either they have read it properly, their job role or not, but they will send their resume. That's the first thing. That's the biggest mistake which I see. And then after that, when I send them any task to do, because I want to see their task, I want to see their, let it be a short video to make, or maybe a small presentation to make, or a small case study to solve, I hardly see 20% people responding only. Or out of the 100% lot, it only 20% people are ready to work hard for the same position for which they have just like applying cold calling, kind of applying, which I see which people do, rather than bothering and working hard for any particular role if they want to get hired. This is what is my been observation, and I feel that you also feel the same pain when you talked about
Right,
that last incident, that
right,
people
right,
are not ready to work hard. Even at times the person who is already in the position, they are ready to help you, but you are not ready to work hard, and that's why you're not landing into any job. We only believe that LinkedIn is a process to apply job, nothing else, nothing
yeah,
else.
yeah. Just
uh,
show the initiative, guys.
yes, take, yes, absolutely. And so guys, we have already discussed so much, so I would like you to, if you have any questions from Manish, if you can just type in the comment section, and we can take up those queries. So I can see Mohammad's comment over here, that I'm currently working in the sales executive in a over 2.7 years of experience in telecommunication company. Mohammed, anything you want to know, or anything uh, you want to ask Manish? Manish can give you a very good idea about this, because he is into IT and all. I have another question, is from startup from Queen Rania, entrepreneurship sales and engineer from Greenfeet. Guys, if you can just post your question, I can see that that is not a question. And Manish, if you can just post your LinkedIn also, so that people can connect with you
Sure,
in the comment section, or you can. If I guess Manish, Vivek will have it, so Vivek can also post it while we are talking.
sure.
Uh, So in the meanwhile, so Manish, how if you, I know that your product is a very like initial stage, but if you can just give a brief about it, that what problem exactly it solves, so that would be like, I don't want to reveal your product, but like just a brief idea that what exactly the product is all about. Uh, so what's coming into market, we should be knowing that.
All right. So sales tech is a very crowded landscape, right?
Mhm.
And we are trying to take a different approach of literally building a strategy for the salesperson. So we are creating a co-pilot which will help salespeople and sales managers in doing their research about which clients have a higher propensity to buy the company's solution, and then give them some very targeted messaging around how to uh, how to sell the solution, what are the potential ideas by which they can actually position their pitches to their prospective clients, right? And over a period of time, there are a lot of interesting research and a lot of interesting activities that a sales guy or sales gal would do, which will make them successful. So we're trying to automate a lot of stuff in the process and uh, make it more fun, as I mentioned. At the same time, there are a lot of salespeople who, when they talk to client, they start talking about features of a product without talking about the problem that exists in the industry. We want
Mhm.
to make it more human so that salespeople can actually establish good connect with their clients, talk to their client at their level in terms of what are their pain areas, and then suggest a solution. So our product is going to help boost pipelines and
Mhm.
improve win rates for clients.
So one last question before we close this session, Manish. We have seen social media driving a lot of B2C sales, right? The direct to consumer D2C model is driven by social media through Instagram. Even people don't have website, but they are able to sell it through Instagram pages and Facebook pages, and
Right.
they build their businesses, right? So how much effect does social media has on B2B market, or what kind of market in which you are working right now?
So it's a great question. I would say it really depends upon, even in B2B, your end of the day selling to a person, right?
Hmm.
So when you're selling to a person, you need to establish your brand. Uh, so depending upon literally your solution, is this a high context solution, which means you can charge hundreds of thousands of dollars? So it's a six-figure, seven-figure deal versus a solution which is less than $10,000 a year, and you only need to sell to one person and you can close the deal in, let's say, a week or two. The relevance of social media from being an influencer
Hmm.
to a deal making platform will change, because if you're literally selling in one call and the stakes are not so high, then social media can actually be a deal making platform, literally, right? uh, Versus if you're selling a solution which is a six seven figure deal and you need to now involve your CFO and many other people. So this could be a good initiation, it could be a good lead generation, but it is more about creating relevance and influence than closing the deal, because closing the deal will then follow the natural sales process of prospecting, awareness, education, right? Going through the motions of, if possible, RFPs, and then closing a sale.
Thank you, Manish. Thank you for your special time, guys. It was a really insightful session. I've learned so many things about sales role, although my role not directly comes into sales. But thanks for Manish for spending a lot of time with us, sharing a lot of experience, and he has also shared his LinkedIn, so you can connect with him. If you have any further queries, you can talk to him, and we'll try to bring Manish from his busy schedule again with some more insights. And all the best to Manish for his new product. I'll be really excited to see what comes up in the new market, and if it makes sense to HiCounselor, we'll be also happy to take those services from Manish. Thank you, Manish. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you again. Thank you.
Thank you, Amit. It was great talking to you. I thoroughly enjoyed the session, and I think through these conversation, we can share a lot of learnings with people and learn from them. It's good
Mm.
to share these experiences,
And
and
like
I
very
think you
few
guys
things.
are doing a great job at High
Thank you. Thank
Counselor,
you. Thank you.
by giving access to a platform to many such prospective employees or candidates who are looking for jobs. So good luck to you as well.
Thank you, Manish. Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining in. Thank you.